All right, welcome back to H2H. Tasos, we made it to the final regular season of the NFL here, week number 18. I am coming off an L. We just talked about it before we hit the record button. I now have to win out to even tie this. Caveated with, you did say last week, if I win out, I'll take the win because you technically blew the 3-0 lead in the NBA Finals type of thing. You were up 10-4, now up 11-6. But yeah, last week was a brawl. I mean, for what it's worth, we both went 2-2. I went with that strong fade me pick of the Chiefs money line. Kind of bit me in the ass because yes, it was a guaranteed L for you, but I ended up losing that week by 0.0. I think it was 9 or 0.08 units, not even a full tenth of a unit. So yeah. Close one last week. But how you doing? And are you surprised we made it to the last week of the NFL season?
Not surprised. Not surprised. Happy we're here. Kind of happy we're here. Kind of happy we're not. It's bittersweet knowing that, including this episode, we've only got 5 episodes left of season 1, which is pretty sad to think about. It's also sad knowing that football season only has 5 weeks left. That sucks. But you know, I honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I thought you had me beat last week.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, the Colts win, and I had a couple things go my way, but I really did think you had me. But Ev, I did warn you about Seattle. I warned you that Pittsburgh. I said Mike Tomlin, he doesn't have a losing season.
Yep.
He just refuses to have it.
They looked okay at one point too. They looked like okay, maybe they pull this one out. Like I saw at one point because I think I bet on them just with my YouTube plays as well -3, and I was like, oh yeah, they were up by at 3 at one point. I was like, all right, push whatever, and then all of a sudden I was like, god damn. But yeah,
it's the Mike Tomlin magic. It happened for some reason. The guy just is never great. It's never like they're like this great, but they always at least 9 wins every year. It's crazy.
It is kind of crazy that he's had that like record. I mean, not we're not talking like upper echelon. Like, yes, obviously Super Bowl, but like over and over again Super Bowl. But it's pretty crazy to be like never had a losing record in the NFL as a coach. Like, and he's had some different teams all over the place too. So it's like okay, but. Like I said, it was a good week. You ultimately edged out. It was probably one of our close. I mean, it definitely was our closest week. That wasn't even like I said, that was less than a tenth of a unit that you took the dub by. But we got another day. I got to win out, like I just said, to even tie, including playoffs and all the way through the Super Bowl. So we'll see how that goes. But if you guys are new, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. We are racing to 50K, which is absolutely absurd. So appreciate everyone subscribing, all the comments, the engagement. This show is a big part of it. We've had a blast doing it. If you don't know what the show is about, technically Tasos and I battle it out each and every week. It hasn't been a battle this season, but it's been fun at least. We've been here for it, right? Whoever gets the most
It's getting
units.
a little closer. It's gotten a little closer.
But we're 5 weeks in and I have to win out to tie. Does that sound like it's like the fact that that's true, that it's closer is scary. You know what I mean? Like that's.
I mean, you at least won. You finally won back-to-back weeks,
right?
So I give you that. You did finally do that. But yeah, I mean, listen, crazier things have happened, right? Like you could win out. I mean, I haven't the last 2 or 3 weeks. I haven't been on my game. Even this past week, I went 2-2. Yep. Not really on my best. I started to cool off a little.
God forbid, I end up coming back. Forbid. That's been the mantra of the show.
Like I said, I will give you the tiebreaker. I'm not going to argue on that one. If I was 10-4 and I somehow finished 11-11, I don't deserve to have the title. Right. So you can have.
You guys heard it here. That is stamped in, concreted, cemented. Yep. That's the ruling. And I will say, even like for seasons moving forward, I feel like if it comes down to that, whoever wins that last week, I guess technically, if it was. We wouldn't be tied beforehand, so maybe that wouldn't come up. But I guess that should be, even like, say I was down 2 and coming into the Super Bowl, I'd won 2 in a row, including the Super Bowl. I feel like if you win that Super Bowl week, maybe that should be like the deal breaker or the tiebreaker.
I feel like moving forward, there should be like a challenge. Like if there's a tiebreaker, there should be some sort of a challenge
or look back. Like
I just feel like for me, like because I've been so dominant, if I somehow go 10-4 and like had like. My record was, 18-6? Like I was on a crazy hot run. If I somehow blow that and lose like 7 out of the last 8 weeks, I just feel like I don't deserve to be called the champion.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. All right, so we'll play it by ear. Obviously, we got some time before next season. But, guys, if you don't know how the show works, we are at mercy of the wheel here. So the wheel's going to decide the draft order in terms of our picks. The wheel's going to decide whether we're doing a money line, spread, total, player prop, that type of thing. It is a snake draft, and we have 4 rounds. The last round being the Fade Me round, in which just stay tuned for that. It's the cooler segment here. It's helped decide a lot of these weeks, which we knew going in, but it's been a very, very cool segment here and very cool way to end each show. So you ready to jump in, Tasso?
Yeah. One last note on last week. I do think it was kind of funny because like you picked the right strategy with Fade Me, right? So you picked the heavy favorite, which is that we've done a couple times this year now, and you did it. You got your result. You gave me a loss and you got a win, but it actually kind of bit you in the ass too because it was such a heavy favorite.
I needed to have one other win.
It won you the week and cost you at the same time.
Yep. It was almost like I had the right strategy, but maybe I went too heavy. Because again, if that was even like closing odds for the Chiefs, obviously we lock in the odds kind of when we say them here. But like that would have won because they ended up closing like under -300, which would have been a difference maker of -103. But it is what it is. You guys see a wheel on your screen now. This is going to decide who drafts first. Tasso, you want the first, or what are you thinking? Does it matter?
Oh, I want first.
Oh,
I want first.
Making a statement. All right.
I want first.
Let's spin it.
I want first. I got some picks this week. I got some really nice. I like the board this week.
I think,
and it's not gonna be me.
Nope. All right, it's coming to your boy. All right.
The one time I ask, every other time I'm always like, oh, I don't care, whatever. The world's my oyster. But the one time I'm like, I want it first.
Hey, you and this wheel had a little bit of a connection going on early in the year, and for whatever reason, it's kind of like slowed a little, and at the same time, your season kind of slowed. Like, what's going on there?
I haven't had Fade. I think I've won the Fade Me spin once in the last like 7 spins. Yep. It's crazy.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm spinning it. So little do you know, I probably have some like
I was gonna say, are you like slow? Like, are you stopping it?
These
like,
are all pre-recorded videos that we're seeing here. They're not even live. But all right, let's see. We got money line spread, total player prop. I like a few things. I think actually, you know what? I'm okay with anything right now, and it's gonna land on money line. Okay, that's not terrible. I don't mind money line. I'm not
awful. I don't hate it.
I'm not gonna lie. Now I have a little bit of a dilemma because I don't know if I want to snag one of my spread picks. Not to give you too much clue here, but it's a lower spread. I don't know if I want to snag that as a money line, pay a little bit of juice just to make sure I get it. You know. So this is a slight dilemma for me here. I'm not gonna do that though. All right.
Now I'm happy you got it first because I like the indecision over there on your corner. I like that the pressure's already getting to you a little bit, and I like that.
All right. This is kind of a crazy one, I guess. It's tough that we're in week 18 and like a lot of teams are going to be like, it doesn't matter, it doesn't count and all of that. And I know that this is tough. All right, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go Patriots money line.
Oh,
I'm gonna go Patriots. I almost hate doing it, but at the same time, we have to. And this is my rationale. It's really not that long of a statement. It's Patriots Jets, so there's a little bit of like divisional rivalry and whatnot, right? This could technically be Bill Belichick's last coached Patriots game, and just the fact that like both these teams, you know, doesn't really matter. It almost makes it matter in a sense. So I like the Patriots here on the money line. The odds for that, I just had it up in front of me, -125 on Caesars right now. So yeah, it's going to be a sloppy game that literally could go either way, but Patriots money line, kind of crazy, but you know what? End in the regular season betting on our home team.
Oh, I hate it because we as Patriots fans, we need the Jets to win on Sunday. So it's like
I know
rooting for the Pats feels gross.
Well, guess what? Talk about a win-win. Even though I probably would prefer the loss for a draft pick, but it's if we put that in a vacuum for a second, all right, head-to-head purposes, I got to win outright or win out for the rest of the season. That's where I'm going.
I mean, the sad part is that I agree with it. Like, I do think New England will win. It just, like I said, Bill Belichick, if this is his last game, he's not going to go out on a loss. And not only that, there's no way he's going to allow the Jets to be the last team that beats them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he hates the Jets so much. And, like, it just, the minute I saw, when they lost their last game, I was like, all right, one more loss is all we need. So who do we got the last week? And the minute I saw a Jet, I wanted to cry.
Yep.
Like, it's, you know, and it's also a snow game too, and the Jets can't run the ball. So, like, they're just in a horrible spot. And it's Trevor Siemian starting, Zach Wilson's not playing. It's just, it all screams New England for me, and it just sucks as a Pats fan because if we win, we're going to go from like the 2nd or 3rd pick to like the 7th pick, which is horrible. You know, we basically can kiss Jaden Daniels and Drake May goodbye. So it's tough, but I don't hate for betting purposes, for H2H purposes, it is a good pick because I do think New England
exactly
should win
The
this
conflict
game.
of
I can't
interest
hate
from our Patriots fandom is 100% there, but for the show's purposes, that's what I'm rolling with. What do you got?
There's a lot of money lines like you. There's some close ones. There's some interesting ones. I'm going to take a risk here. And call me crazy. It's a little crazy. But I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go ahead. You know what? I'm not going to go crazy. I'm going to play it safe. I want to get the win here. I want to clinch this week. We're going to go with the old reliable. Give me the Seahawks money line, minus 148 right now on DraftKings. I was going to take an underdog money line, and there's one that I really do like a lot, but it is one of those teams that it's just like, I feel dirty taking it. Like I really do like the spot, but I'm going to ride here. Hopefully we get another money line because I'll pull the trigger on it the second time. I'm going to go Seattle here. It's pretty simple. I mean, they need a win to get in. They're not eliminated just yet.
Yep.
They need to win to get in, and they play Arizona. You know what I mean? And for minus 148 odds. Now I know Arizona, they just came off that big win over Philadelphia, and it kind of shocked people.
Mm-hmm.
I think that just gives me even more reason why I like this bet. Seattle's coming off a tough loss to the Steelers. The Cardinals coming off a big win versus the Eagles. For Arizona, they get no benefit to winning here. A loss for Arizona could put them in position to have the second overall pick.
Yep.
Or even the third overall pick. So a win for Arizona would take them from a top 3. Same thing with New England. Would take them from a top 3 pick to like 6, 7, or 8. So there's no benefit to winning this game. You got your big upset win last week versus Philadelphia. If I'm the Cardinals here, you just want to lose this game. And Seattle, again, Seattle needs to win. Arizona needs to lose. It's as simple as that. For minus 150, you can't really beat it.
I agree, and I do think that I do agree that what we have to think about too is because you look at like I know NFL.com does like the if they win percent chances and whatnot. The Seahawks still, even if they win, need a lot to happen for them to make it. But that's not their concern. You know what I mean? Like they exactly. So I don't mind it. I think that the only thing that I that was on my sheet, by the way, so obviously I can't knock it. Doesn't it seem like a trap like line and trap odds? Like that seems too good to be true. I know we kind of talked about how Seattle blew it against the Steelers and whatnot, but that was like a Steelers win instead of a Seattle loss, right? So now they come into this spot and I'm like, little interesting that they're even only 3-point favorites over Arizona, but I think that's good. Good value.
I think it's Arizona coming off that Eagles win. People are like, whoa, because to be totally honest, like since they got Kyler Murray back, they have been a much better team.
True.
And so I do think there is a little bit of like the public kind of looking at that Eagles winning, saying, hey, this Arizona team's better than we thought. They're kind of selling their stock in Seattle. I just personally feel like Seattle is too good to lose this game.
And they kind of need to if they want any chance. So I don't mind that. Again, like it is like when I'm saying it's on my sheet, then that kind of says exactly what, you know what I mean, I was thinking. But all right, let's go ahead and jump into round number 2 here, moving right along. So we removed that one now, that money line from the wheels. Now there's only one money line left. I know you said maybe you'll get one more money line to pull the trigger on what you want. You are starting here. Now there is just one money line left, but
good. I mean, spread works too. Too.
I got a spread pick that I like, so I'm hoping you're not going to take it. And look at God forbid you're going to get your money line. You're going to get it.
I like it. All right, well, I have to take it now. Now I can't pussy out now. Like I have to shoot for it. All right. I'm going to do it. I'm going to take Atlanta Falcons money line here.
Wow.
Against the New Orleans Saints plus 140. Look, this Saints team is not good. I'm sorry, and I've watched way too much Saints football to admit. Like I don't know why I've kept a close eye on them, but I have, and it's like this team is just not. They should be really good on paper. They should be really good with the roster they have, but it's poorly coached. Derek Carr, who went from like an underrated quarterback to now, I think we all had it. Maybe we overrated him. Like he looks even worse than he ever has. Yeah. They're coming. This is kind of the Saints feel like to me what the Tannehill Titans were like, where it's like they'd win one game and they kind of fool you into thinking, wait a second, is this Titans team actually like really, really good? And then the very next game they would pull the blanket from over top and surprise, we're not good. And that's what the Saints team feels like. They beat Tampa Bay last week very convincingly. And so, they put themselves in this position. Interestingly enough, this is also for a playoff spot. Whoever wins this game, now obviously they need Tampa Bay to also lose in order for this to work, but it's kind of what we talked about Seattle. They're not worried about that. They're worried about winning. Win and you have a chance to be in, both of these teams. If Atlanta wins, they could win the division. If New Orleans wins, they can win the division. So a pretty important game on both sides. I think Atlanta, they made the smart choice benching Desmond Ridder, going with Taylor Heineke. It's not perfect. It's not great, but I think it's better. They did get beat down pretty bad by the Bears last week, but I just cannot trust the Saints team. I do think this will be Dennis Allen's last game as the head coach in New Orleans. I don't know what it is. I feel like Atlanta's got it. I feel like defensively, Atlanta will be able to put Derek Carr in uncomfortable situations. And then it's basically a battle of, can the Falcons offense beat the Saints defense? The Saints defense, not as good as it used to be.
All right. For my money line pick, this is a game in which I'm kind of surprised that this team is like in the playoff picture, and with a win they do get the playoff spot, or most like 99% chance they make the playoffs. They have tons of injuries here, like tons of injuries to look at, but I think they're playing a team that I don't really trust. I don't believe in. They have a bunch of injuries as well, but I'm looking at Green Bay over the Chicago Bears. I think that Green Bay at home, it's kind of like a like we were talking Patriots beating the Jets last game of the year type of thing, right? That's kind of the same sort of vibe of Green Bay in Lambeau beating the Bears. And again, the Chicago may be trying just because they're eliminated. You talked about it last week, right? Like Fields may be trying to be like, hey, don't draft a quarterback. I'm the guy. So I get that. But Green Bay needs to win to make it into the playoffs. And I think it's a good spot. The value that we're getting here, I think, is also good. Like when you look at sort of the body of work from the teams this year, like minus 160 on Caesars right now for Green Bay is actually, to me, a fairly decent number, because I don't think the Bears, though I think we're in agreement that the Bears have been better than what they were, and they've played well as of late, I think that Green Bay is just, since they kind of went on that hot streak during the middle of the year, they are still a better team than the Bears, even if the Bears have progressed since where they were. So give me them in Lambeau in a pretty much need to win situation for what I think is a decent value at minus 160.
As a Green Bay Packers owner, I can't really dispute this pick. I think Green Bay. There's also a factor in it too, where with Chicago, I do think Justin Fields is still playing for his job, because there's still people calling for him to stay. There's people calling for him to leave. The Bears have already clinched the number 1 overall pick. They never really had any control over that, but they do still have their own first, which right now is projected to be a top 10 pick. But if they win, it falls out of the top 10 or just around 10. Again, it's kind of one of those situations where it's like, listen, you've had a great run. Like Justin Fields in coming back and playing as well as he has the past few weeks has proven, hey, I can do this. There's no more really benefit for Chicago to winning this game other than to have kind of a moral victory or bragging rights that we beat the Packers in Lambeau. It's more beneficial for them at this point to lose. And again, I don't know how much the players and the coaches really think into this, but in terms of the owners of the front office, you got to think they'd rather have a top 10 pick versus 10, 11, or 12 in that ballpark, which is where this pick will end up if they win this game. There's just not. I think the payoff isn't worth the risk or whatever you want to call it. And I do think Green Bay, like they had a really rough stretch there. They almost lost to Carolina. They really weren't playing great, but then they came out last Sunday night on New Year's Eve and they played very well against Minnesota. Again, Minnesota has their own issues, but they played very well. This team really offensively is pretty good. They found their rhythm a little bit, and I think Jordan Love has played very well. Defensively, they're a mess right now. I just don't know if Chicago's a team that's going to be able to take advantage of their weaknesses. I think this game will be close. I think it'll be tight, but taking the money line is a good pick here. So I do, and I've already had my ownership meeting with them all and talked about this game, and we want to go to the playoffs. So it
helps your ownership. That might be that helps trading. Line your pockets.
I might lose my ownership.
But all right. So we're moving into, let's see if I can remember. I am going first in round number 3. There we go. Let's go.
18 weeks in and you're sharp as a knife.
Sharp as a dull knife, but knife nonetheless. I guess we can give me that credit. But we only have a few. Now we have no more money lines on the board. And we have, I guess we have everything else. We got spread, player prop, and total still in the balance here. What are you looking for? I know that I'm leading off, but you got any? Because now this is the last one before.
I have a lot of spreads, but for the people though, it's very strange. I don't know why the wheel gods, they have such a bias towards player props. I feel like we don't get player props
against them.
For
you're saying?
when the Chargers and the Raiders played, and then we got 4 player props. for that game.
Yep.
But no, for some reason the wheel god's like, nope, we don't want to see any player props. So I wouldn't mind a player prop just to switch it up.
Yeah.
But I do have a lot of spreads. I will be honest. I have a lot of spreads available.
I have a player prop that I don't mind either, but I think spread is kind of my hope. But get ready, Tasos. I have something for all three of these that are just ready to go.
Right.
So
All
we'll
right.
spin it.
I just want the people to know he had the same confidence about Seattle last week beating Pittsburgh. Ev seems really confident. Oh, it's a total. That's the one thing I don't have.
I have a plus money total that I like.
See, that's the one area where good thing you're leading off because I
you time to think about.
I have options. Don't get me wrong, but I don't have anything concrete.
If I was really trying to pull one over on you, I'd just make my pick really quick, not give any explanation, be like, it's your turn. But I won't do it.
I mean, listen, I'll
kind of explain this why I like it. Actually, I don't know if it'll even take me that long to explain it. It kind of makes a lot of sense. So, Alti Ev here, we're going just a little bit. I'm looking at the Tampa Bay Bucks team total over 20.5. That's even money over on Caesars right now. Playing the Panthers. Bucks, you already talked about them in their playoff situation too and how it impacts a couple other teams. And this offense, last week, I'm not going to sit here and say that, what a team they are based on last week, but that's in the minority of their recent offensive performances, right? And this Carolina team, it's just not a very good team. The Bucks last time they played them, and that was kind of before I would say the Bucks offense truly started to cook. They scored 21 points against them. So they hit this over in what I would consider not their best offensive performance. And then after that game, they did obviously kind of get things rolling. That's when they scored 29, 34, and 30 in 3 consecutive games. Carolina, I like this spot. Jacksonville, who, we talked about them last week, scored 26 on them last week. You're telling me the Bucks, who have kind of hit their offensive stride, can't score 3 touchdowns worth of points and for plus money? I think it's too good to be true.
I don't hate it. I don't love it. My problem with this game is that because Tampa Bay, their playoff scenario is very simple. Lose and your season's over. Win and you're in. I almost wonder if that'll impact some of the decision making. Like if they get out to an early lead and they get out on top, they may just lean into the running game and try to just chew clock. And
I could see that. But 21 is that's still running game-esque. Do you know what I mean? It's.
Yeah, I think you said Tampa Bay's offense has hit their stride. I would disagree. I don't really think they've had moments where you're like, it looks like they're finally turning the corner, and then you have a game like where they played New Orleans last week, where it kind of falls off.
Yeah, that was the first time in 5 weeks that they hadn't hit that number, though. I think that offense clicked a little ever since Rashad. Well, I guess Baker started to play well too. Ever since
I say Baker's been playing.
So
better, I don't. It makes a lot of sense. It makes.
You got to remember it's plus. It's plus 100 too. You know what I mean? That's context.
Yeah. That's like I said. The only area where, and then I think this is the reason why it's plus money is the fact that I think Tampa Bay will play very conservative. I think they're going to do whatever it takes. It's just even if it's a 1-point win, they just want the win. They don't care about how many points. They're not going to risk throwing interceptions and getting Carolina because Carolina. They're the most dangerous team because they have, and I mean, they just lost 26-0, so they're not that dangerous.
Gotta clip that. Carolina's the most dangerous team in the NFL.
They're dangerous in the sense that they have nothing to lose. If they have nothing, they don't have a draft pick. If they win, it doesn't do anything. If it loses, it doesn't do anything. You've got an interim head coach who's trying to kind of boost his resume for his next job, and probably every player on this team, honestly, looking to boost their resumes after a bad year. They're kind of dangerous in that way where it's there's no agenda for Carolina. Yeah. They can just go out there and I do think in a sense Tampa Bay's got that pressure, and this, Ev, this year you've kind of proven that sometimes the lights shine bright for people. You've kind of shown that. The lights shine.
Quit stalling. What do you got for your pick here? I will say.
I had my pick a while ago.
Sorry. Did you see how that switched up real quick? I will say the last thing to your point, to beat Carolina, you don't need 21 points. So, you know what I mean? To summarize almost what, exactly. I get that. But again, I think that where we probably differ is where we kind of see how much this offense is clicking. I think that, now Books would agree with you. So no kidding, right? But I think 21 points against Carolina for the Bucks almost seems like light work to me.
God forbid Tampa Bay wins 20-7.
That would be tough. That would be tough.
Because I could see that. I could definitely see a 27 game. Yeah. They kick a few field goals in the end. I'm gonna ride with you on a team total here. I'm gonna do the same bet. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Jacksonville Jaguars team total over 22.5. It is at minus 118 right now. I found it on DraftKings. I didn't really see anywhere else for other value, but they're playing a Titans team that's officially eliminated. Again, keep talking about it over and over, like the draft pick situation. Tennessee, it's more beneficial at this point for them to lose than to win. Whereas Jacksonville, they need to win to get in. So they kind of Jacksonville's had a really disappointing season. It's been tough to watch, honestly, at times.
They were supposed to be a him, right? Like they were supposed to be a good team this year.
Yeah, they were supposed to be a Super Bowl favorite. You know what I mean? Like they were supposed to be one of the top dog. Like coming into the season, everyone was like, okay, it's Kansas City, it's Buffalo, it's Cincinnati, it's Jacksonville. Like they were grouped in that class, and they've been very disappointing. But their offense lately, really not lately, just the last game, they had 26 on Carolina. They're a lot like Tampa Bay in that way, where it's like they can score. They've proven it. Like they played the Browns defense, one of the best defenses back in early December, and they dropped 27 on them and had a game out of it. But more importantly, the last time these two teams played in November, the Jags scored 34 points. They don't, kind of your argument, right? I don't need them to score much, 22.5 points. They need to score 3 touchdowns and a field goal in a game they need to win.
All right, final fade me round of the regular season, Tasso. You haven't had it in a while. Do you want it? Is that what we're looking for?
Yes.
He wants it bad.
I have not had fade me in so long. I've had it once since Thanksgiving. I've had it once.
That's crazy. But that's crazy. But all right, we got made it interesting. We got a bunch of slices here of our names. If you guys don't know what the fade me round is, it's simple. This wheel is going to land on either myself or Tasso, and then whoever it lands on gets to make a pick. It could be anything on the board, player prop. It could be spread, total, anything. The other person has to take the opposite. A lot of strategy goes into this. I already know what I'm going with here. Sounds like you got your gun unholstered, ready to go too for this, because you seem like you want it. So let's spin it again. Whoever this lands on gets to make a pick, and then the other person has to take the exact opposite. And this looks like it. Oh, sit down.
Come on, go,
sit,
baby, go. No.
Oh,
come on, wheel.
That is, and now to be fair, this could be good for you because my fade me history hasn't been killer.
Yeah, it's not great, but it's just the thrill of having one for myself. Ugh.
So I do have.
I don't know what I did to the wheel. I don't know what I did to the wheel. Maybe it's because maybe it's all the gloating and all the
you know
making fun of you. I guess karma.
That's
karma
probably
affects
it.
The wheel.
So I think I'm gonna kind of tack on to what I like in that Bucks and Panthers game, and I'm gonna go Bucks money line minus 225 on BetMGM. Now that should be a middle ground of like last week I got screwed with the huge favorite, right? as you're super happy about this. But you know, if we said Bucks need to win this game, who cares by how much? This is a little safety net for me as well. The only thing that I will say is it seems like it's too easy for what I'm looking at here, that if the Panthers pull out this freaking win, we might just cancel the show forever. But I don't think that's going to happen. Like it would definitely hurt my 21, 20 and a half. And now it would kill me and fade me. Like we might just cancel. We might delete the channel. But yeah, you can't be happy about that one. You can't be happy about that one.
No, you can't. I mean, the only thing I can say negative, I'm not just saying this for the camera. I'm not just saying this to fake. That was my pick for fade me. Was
really?
Yeah, I don't. It's. You literally dream of a scenario like this where you need to win. It's like I said, there's no other thing you need to happen. Win, and you're in. And not only do you have that scenario, but you're playing the worst team in the NFL. Like you could not ask for a better.
Yep.
The only thing you can ask for better is if it was at home. That's literally the only difference. It's a perfect spot. Now, I will say what is interesting is that the money is heavy on Carolina. Heavy.
That's interesting.
Which is interesting.
That is interesting.
Very interesting. 91% of the money is on the Panthers. Now, that, to be fair, though, that is, you took money line, right?
Yeah. But
that is spread.
Is that because of that? It's a pretty deep. What's the number? 4.5? That could be why, I guess. I don't know.
In money line, they're not revealing where the money is, but the bet percentage on the money line, 81% of all bets are on Tampa Bay. So I guess
it's public though.
Yeah, the public's wagering on Tampa Bay.
Yep.
But I can't see where the money is yet, and the money usually identifies where the sharps are.
Yep.
So on the spread, it's ridiculous. It's like 56% of wagers are on Carolina, but 91% of the money is on them. So like people are hammering Panthers. It must be that, what was it, plus 4.5 line?
Maybe. That doesn't even seem like that key of a number, but I guess I get it.
No, it doesn't.
All right. Well, I don't know if I love the public being all over the money line, but it also like there shouldn't be a sharp side of the money line in this. You know what I mean? Like it makes spread. I get that, but like you're not gonna, even if I see money come in on Carolina money line, I'm like, well, that's just like Flyers because they're almost plus 200. You know, so you do have them at. It looks like your best odds are plus 198 on FanDuel. Mine's minus 225. This could be huge. This, like you said, this is a dream scenario for the Bucks. It's a dream scenario for the Fade Me. So I'm kind of all in on the Bucks here, but I don't mind it at all. And you,
there couldn't be a bigger kick in the nuts where like I wanted it bad. Not only do you win the Fade Me, but then you use the pick that I was going to use against you,
which very rarely happens.
We didn't talk about this. Like maybe the second time this season where Fade Me, like you took my Fade Me pick.
Yep. All right, crazy. We'll see how it happens, but that's gonna cap the regular season here. Again, I got to win out, so this is like still kind of mid-season for us in a sense. Regular season of the NFL, but we're treating it, through the Super Bowl, I guess you could say, for record purposes. But essentially, our I didn't make the playoffs. You would have with your record. But Tasos, I can't think of a better way for me to end the regular season than literally taking the perfect pick. Watch this just blow up in my face. But take the perfect pick in the perfect spot for the last Fade Me when you wanted it that badly. Because to be honest, I didn't really even want it that badly. Now knowing what you were gonna pick, I definitely wanted it. But like I was like, whatever. But whatever.
Double down on it then.
Double down on that just doesn't seem like it's necessary, does it?
Actually, no, I don't know why I would say that. It actually hurts me if you double down on it.
Yeah, that actually would. Yeah, I don't want to because like I'm technically doubling down on the Bucks already. When you think about it, but
I'm just honestly like of all the picks you've made this year, that might have made me the most mad.
Really,
that's how there was one week where you took
the Lions. I think
the Lions. There was also a week where you made me take the Jets against the. I think it was against the Patriots. I think there was one time you made me take a team against New England, and I remember being like, "What the hell." This just hurts.
Hey, well, I'm sorry. It's just the name of the game. But I ruffled some feathers.
I kid you not. I literally was driving home from work, and I already had made my picks. Like I already wrote down my sheet, like what I wanted, and I was thinking in my head. I was trying to. I had this pick on my sheet and this pick, and I kept thinking the whole ride home. I'm like, I really hope I pick Tampa Bay at some point. Like they are in my back pocket as like the spread. I didn't love the spread as much, but the money line, I loved it. Oh, jeez.
And the money's perfect for like a Fade Me. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't take this as a straight bet, but minus 225 in a Fade Me round, pretty damn good. But any last thoughts you want to say to the audience other than, how pissed you are about this for, week number 18 here?
The wheel gods better do me justice. That's all I got to say, because they've been screwing me a lot lately. I mean, they were my friend for a while, but they have really turned on me.
You were like thick as thieves. You were like, hey, give me this. Boom, you get that. Give me a spread. Boom, you get that. Now it's like maybe you got a little too cocky because you were taking credit for all the wins, and the wheel gods are probably like, buddy, like, where's my shout out here? Maybe that's it.
It's like, oh, this guy's way too confident and cocky right now. We got to knock him down a peg.
Yeah, you didn't. So in your MVP speech, you didn't say the wheel gods are the real MVP. You started taking credit for it immediately. So
yeah.
But all right, guys, that's gonna wrap for the first regular season of doing the show. Obviously, we'll be here for seasons to come, and you'll still see us for the next few weeks. But yeah, put Tasos in a mental blender here because of that pick. But hit that subscribe button if you're watching. Hit that like button.
There's no way Carolina wins.
Stop jinxing it, because now you're gonna say that and it's gonna go and happen. Oh my God, no chance. But all right, guys, we'll catch you in the next episode. Let's go.